Yellow. I've been hanging on to this cliff face all week. Oh man, Sam, you got guns, dude. Anyways, hello, Eon. Hey, Sam. How's everyone doing? Happy Sunday. I almost said Saturday. But yeah, what's good, everyone? Eon, you still in Boston? How was PAX? I returned from Boston. Oh, okay. You're back. How was it? Arm day. It's always arm day. You're well? I'm glad to hear you're well. I'm doing okay. It's been a pretty quiet weekend, honestly. And I don't know, it was nice to have a quiet weekend because last week was like horrifically busy every day. But man, you know, felt kind of lonely in the house this weekend because I think, well, not to say I would have played with my flatmates. What am I, like 9 at a play date? Like, not as if I would have hung out with my roommates, but it's just been awfully quiet. And I guess the quiet's nice, but still. But oh, okay, actually, unrelated, there is gonna be, I mean, I'll write about this in Discord later, but there's gonna be no streams this Thursday through next Tuesday, so there will be a stream this coming Tuesday, but then Thursday through next Tuesday, no streams, just because I'm going home, I'm gonna be out of town. It's my sister's birthday, and I haven't celebrated her birthday, like, with her in a couple of years, so, figured it'd be nice to go home. So, soon things will not be so quiet. PAX itself was alright, but I had fun with my friends, so it was still a good weekend. Yeah, I mean, this weekend the weather was pretty good too, or at least in New York, and like Boston and New York, where they aren't like drastically different. But yeah, because you were staying out kind of close to the beach too, no? Happy birthday! Thanks. I'll be sure to tell my sister. Eon says happy birthday. Get to see the Babbo. I'm really excited to see her. I cannot wait to see how large she's gotten. She was already like 2 feet long and like 15, 16 pounds last time I saw her, and that was about a month and a half ago. Closer to 2 months now, actually. She's large. She is large. Like, she's gonna be really tall when she grows up. We already, like, I mean, it's established that, or my parents had hoped as well that she got, like, the height from my sister's husband's side of the family, because they're all really tall. They're all like, you know, like 6 feet. But oh my god, this baby's gonna be tall. It was windy. Yeah, you guys got the beach breeze. But it was at least nice. Is she taller than you yet? Dude, I think she's half my height already. Cause right, last time I myself am 5 feet, basically precisely. And sorry, responding to a text. But yeah, she was already like either like she was floating 2 feet last time I saw her, give or take an inch. So she is already almost half my height. Just in the first 6 months of her life. She's gonna be able to pick me up soon. It's gonna be funny, like, it's gonna be funny, like, just like, say for example, maybe one day I go pick, like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, your Aunt Panky gonna pick you up from school today because mom and dad are really busy. And they're gonna be like, yeah, so which one of you is the kid? And they'll be like, yo, why is the kid driving the car as I'm sitting behind the wheel? XD. She can float, you know, she's pretty chubby. I'm pretty sure if you put her in water, she would float, you know, she got enough chub that you'll float too. I was actually just thinking about it last night as I was trying to fall asleep, and okay, it was a little scary, but also I was just thinking about how, damn, that first movie is so good in, like, the new It, the 2019 or 2018 version. The new one, not the old It one from the 80s. But the first one is so good, and then the second one is good too. Oh, I just dropped my pen. The second one was good too, and like I love James McAvoy, but the second one, I'm just sad because it felt more like an action drama movie than like a horror movie. The first movie I felt like was a really knock it out of the park kind of horror film because like it didn't abuse jump scares. Like I don't like it when horror movies abuse jump scares because like you know, eventually you kind of learn to predict them and it's like just like be a little more creative with horror. It's also why I like A Quiet Place a lot. Oh my god, that movie was like the anti-jumps or like again, very very tasteful I think use of its jump scares cuz it didn't abuse them either. As you're trying to fall asleep, questionable strat. You know, the bright side of living in New York is it's never really fully dark at least. Like where I grew up at night it is dark. It's dark. But New York, like, your neighbors have lights on, the street lights are on, there's fucking light pollution, so it's never, like, fully dark, you know? It's less scary, honestly. I used to actually be really scared of the dark. I would be really scared falling asleep, honestly, in the house I grew up in, because, again, like I said, it is dark when, at night. I liked A Quiet Place. Me too. I like John Krasinski. He seems like a cool dude, and he looks good in a beard. But that movie was really good. I haven't seen the second one. I really want to though. But again, not again. But you know, I did hear that the second one's not quite as good as the first because the first was the first was just so good. It was just like, I think really unique because like I feel like in the early 2010s there was like a period of time when a lot of horror movies were coming out like really fast. So like this is when like The Conjuring, Annabelle, all those films were coming out and like those were followed like really typical like they had a horror film kind of formula and they did use a lot of jump scares and like it was like paranormal horror and like you know they were good at they're entertaining but it's just like I felt like film theaters were so like or the film industry was super saturated with those types of films for a while, and then horror dropped off for a little bit. And then, like, I feel like just, like, It, and then A Quiet Place, like, they both came out within, like, a year or two of each other, and, like, those were two just really good horror films, I felt. That just, like, came back out of, after, like... Oh, also, what's that other one? Get Out? With, what's his name? The guy from... Black Panther, not Chadwick Boseman. The it's called I think it's called Get Out, right? Get Out, yeah, that's a really good movie as well. But like all these like horror that more just relied on like kind of something like more like you know there's a pit in your stomach because it's unsettling. And like tension. I don't necessarily want to say psychological because not all of them were like fully psychological, but it more builds on a sense of apprehension and tension. Those are really good. Bird Box too. I liked Bird Box as well. I kind of yeah, the cool thing about Bird Box also was like, you know, they never actually gave the monster a face, which I thought was really cool, honestly. I know I actually watched like the behind or read I don't know some interview about behind the scenes of like the choice to not give the monster a face and it's like oh well like canonically speaking this monster just like changes to what everyone fears the most but also like you know so like obviously they could have given that a very physical like embodiment for every character in the film but they said also, you know, the same thing of like like everyone had their separate like biggest fear, and so it's just to kind of best like leave it to the tap, like leave it a little bit to the imagination of the audience, also to like picture what they might or figure out what they might see in the scenario, and like it's cool. All right, I've blabbed on and long enough about horror. No, we're not starting a new game. We are back to Shibuya Scramble. You know, Sampleton's been holding on for so long, and I don't want his arms to break. So, my theory last week, I think, right, we hit a dead end in, so we hit a keep out in Osawa's story. And I think, okay, Minori Kao, we did finish their story. We hit a bad end in Kano. So, okay. So Kano, I think, I'm just going to read the hint real quick. I know I had like a 3-step thing to unlocking the Kano story, I think. So right, so someone had to do something at 1340 that throws a wrench into Kano's activities. So I think... So at 1340... Okay. So I think what happens is... Something needs to... Right. Okay, we did talk about this. Right. Sorry, I'm stuttering a lot. But right, so something needs to happen to Tanaka to allow him to answer the phone to unblock Achi. And Tanaka is at the Osawa residence. And Osawa right now is blocked. Wait, what was the conclusion I came to last week? Because I actually thought that it was something in the Osawa story that had to unblock Achi, which would in turn unblock Kano. So that is still true, but how do I unblock Osawa's story? Okay, as always, this is the problem with like putting so many days between playing this game. I need to... Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, so last week we chose to have Tanaka help us cook. But if Tanaka's cooking, maybe he can't answer the phone. So... Okay, so we'll let Kajiwara make the food for us. Cause this timestamp is exactly 13:35, which is 5 minutes before the 13:40 block for Achi. Okay, for now he just had to pray he wound up something edible. Kajiwara appeared in the refrigerator. Goodness, you are remarkably understocked, he said. I think we've read all this before, basically. Please put these in the dinger. Yeah, we've already read all this, actually. But I can't skip through it quite forward, so... I think actually at this point, if I switch back to Achi's story, we might actually be unblocked. I'm not 100% sure. But let's play this until we hit the same keep out point for Osawa. Okay, we've already read all this, so I am just gonna speed run through it. Meow. Hi, Gatsun. How you doing? Oh, okay. We haven't read this last week. But yes, hello, Gatsun. How's it going? Happy Sunday. I've never worked in a kitchen in my life. Don't ask me to do things that are this difficult. What a bitch. Very well, I'll handle this from here. Why don't you get out the bowls and the chopsticks then, sir? I have no idea where the hell those are kept. Kajiwara let out a heavy sigh. Alright then, please just sit and wait, sir, he said. And here, take this. Kajiwara pulled out a sheet of bubble wrap. Okay, we did read this last week. Use your fingers to pop the bubbles. That should help you calm down. Too drained to argue, Osawa did as prompted, starting to pop his way along the sheet. I'm going to eat Sonic! Oh hell yeah, what do you get at Sonic? Chili dogs. Corn dogs. I think between chili dogs and corn dogs, I'm definitely... probably a corn dog person, honestly. Rather than calm him down, though, it was making him incredibly cross. This felt like a ridiculous sort of ridiculous punishment. They say you can learn a lot about a household by looking in the fridge, you know? Kajiwara was cooking something in the frying pan. And Osawa asked, what have you learned just about mine? I'd better not say, sir. You might take offense. Osawa snapped another bubble between his fingers. Ah, the rice is finished thawing. Kajiwara topped the steaming bowl of rice with a fried egg he'd whipped up in his pan. Then, as if it were an afterthought, he added some pickled vegetables. Here you are. Your fried egg on rice is complete. Why is that extra dark, the text? Kajiwara grinned from ear to ear. Go ahead and eat it while it's still warm. Osawa received the bowl with a dubious look. You aren't very good at cooking, are you? He said. All you had in your refrigerator were eggs and pickled vegetables, sir. Also, Osawa, who are you to talk? You don't even know how to defrost the fucking rice. Pumpkinhead. I assure you, it's just quite delicate. Delicacy. I assure you, it's quite delicious. I recommend breaking the yolk and mixing it all together. Reluctantly, Osawa brought the bite to his mouth. Come step it up. Is this a Sonic reference? Like Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm a chili cheese kind of person. I do like cheese. That's good. The words came out almost unbidden. Isn't it? Egg yolk and pickled vegetables pair quite well. Osawa couldn't help but stuff his face, slipping into a rapturous daze as he did. The more he ate, the more it stirred his appetite. I had no idea fried eggs could be this delicious. I know you probably have a long ordeal still ahead of you, sir, but please, keep your chin up and hang in there. Kajiwara gave Osawa an amiable smile. That's right, he continued. And for dessert, we have bananas. No thank you. Kajiwara grimaced as Osawa held up a hand in refusal. Got him. Yeah, I know. Pumpkinhead. Isn't that such a great insult? I love it. It sounds like something kids would use in the playground, but it also is like high-key devastating, at least in my point of view. Like, high-key, low-key devastating. You know, it's not mean, but it's also a little bit of a roast. In Smash, Sonic says it as one of his taunts. Oh, come step it up. What if he just says chili dogs? Unless that's what you meant, but I'm assuming what you mean is come step it up. Right then, when you're finished eating, would you please wash the bowl? Me? Wash dishes? So I exclaimed in surprise, sounding like a petulant child. Sounds like a little prick. If someone else cooks for you, you should do the cleaning up. It's only polite. This is true. While someone was doing the dishes, the bug detector went off again. Director, if you have a moment. Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you. And so I think we keep out here, right? Okay, let's try and go back to... Oh, okay, let's go back to Achi's story. We are probably unblocked. Yep, this is different now. Tanaka should answer the phone now. Sonic loves chili dogs and it's a meme. Oh, do you think... I mean, I wonder if Sonic the Hedgehog likes chili dogs because of Sonic the fast food chain. Alright, I think we've laid low long enough, Achi said at last. Think we should be on our way? He was about to get to his feet when he heard voices outside the storeroom again. Yikes, that was pretty careless of us. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch here. The theater guys from earlier had returned and they sounded a bit panicked. Let's just go here real quick, because we've already read this. This is all my fault, Achi said. It was my idea to hide out in here in the first place. He bowed to Hitomi repeatedly. We're never gonna be able to find that blue minivan now. Guess we'll have to get someone on the outside to help us, Hitomi replied. She scowled thoughtfully. They powered their phones back on in order to call for help. Oh, Hitomi chirped, that's me! She took a look at the LCD display. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Ah, okay. Hitomi began typing out a response with practice ease. More wild delusions arose in Achi's mind. Oh, poor dude. Simp. Stealing a quick glance at Hitomi, he noticed her gazing happily at her phone screen. His delusions ran even more wild. I mean, there's no way Hitomi and Tanaka are a thing, because, right, Tanaka is a lot older than her. Like, Achi's just being paranoid jealous. Probably. That'd be pretty funny. It must have been a branding thing they did in the 90s. It's possible. Or, wait, no, I'm not saying that's... Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not that Sonic, the fast food chain, is based off of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's the other way around. Yeah. Our market research says all the cool teens hang out Sonic and eat chili dogs. We must capitalize. I mean, that is kind of like... I feel like that's peak... How do you say? Commercialization. Sonic is hip. I just stuck out my hip. But I don't have a webcam so you guys can't see it. While he was still fretting furiously, Hitomi finished typing her response. So, what'd you wind up saying? Hachi asked. I explained the situation. That we're trapped in a storeroom, you've got some guys chasing after you, and you're looking for some van? Yeah, I also asked him to please keep this a secret from my family and the police. Whoever this Tanaka guy was, he told me sure seemed to put a lot of trust in him. A short while later, Hitomi's phone chimed with a reply. She checked the screen in a flash, all eagerness. Achi couldn't help but ask, so, what's that Tanaka guy have to say? Did his utmost to pretend he didn't notice. Let's just ask honestly, you know? Achi couldn't help but ask, so, what's that Tanaka guy have to say? A hint of jealousy slipped into his voice. He says he's going to find the minivan for us. If he comes and lets us out, I can just go look for it myself. He says he wants us to hide out here for a little longer. What the hell? Seriously? He says that if someone's after me, it's safer to stay where we are. Yeah, I'm out of the running, Achi thought to himself. This Tanaka was clearly pretty concerned for her, and there's really only one reason a middle-aged man would think like that. Alright, fine. We'll wait. Achi turned his own phone off and slumped back in a huff. You're too slow. Oh, I think I can actually kind of hear it in my head, like the "you're too slow." Like, is that another one of his taunts? I'm assuming this is a link to one of his taunts. Oh, okay. This is a video. I will watch this after stream. After 20 more minutes in the storeroom, and the two were sitting in silence, Achi had run out of things to talk about. Do you think you'll ever be friends again? You and that one guy. Susumu, I think it was? Hitomi's question caught Achi off guard. He stammered, unsure how to respond. Hitomi shook her head. I'm so sorry. I barely know you. That was insensitive of me. That's no good. That's the taunt. Yeah, that's a taunt. It was in Brawl, but they removed it in future Smash iterations, I believe. I feel like I've heard, like, specifically in this inflection, "You're too slow." Like, that's the literal inflection. Maybe a little faster, but, like, I feel like I've heard it before. Like, not even, like, not a, "You're too slow," but it's literally, "You're too slow." Like that. Am I crazy? I mean, sometimes I wish things could go back to the way they used to be, Achi said. He let out a tiny sigh. What that Kiryu guy said was the truth. I was the guy who founded SOS. Do you know what I mean by that? Hitomi gave a slight nod. I mean, I never wanted to be in charge of a gang or anything, but I knew that if I left SOS would just fall apart. And I didn't want everyone else to get all caught up over who would take my place, you know? So I thought long and hard about it, looking for a way for folks to stay friends even after I was gone. Yeah, okay, I have heard this taunt then, like a gajillion times. I've heard it. I know exactly the taunt you're talking about now. The loud voice echoed through the pool hall that served as SOS HQ. What do you mean you're leaving, Susumu? Oh, what do you mean you're leaving? Susumu was positively red in the face. You're the founder, Achi. You can't just up and quit. Susumu had been almost like a younger brother to Achi. If anyone was going to try and stop him, Achi knew full well it'd be Susumu. Look, I'm not gang leader material. All I've been trying to do is make sure we're all able to have fun. That's not true, Susumu said. Think about all that stuff you taught us. Don't you remember? Every man gets to make one request in his life that cannot be denied. Those are your words, Achi. I said that? It's the heaviest thing you've ever said. Then, to Achi's consternation, Susumu got down on his hands and knees. I'm begging you, please don't leave. Without you, SOS is nothing. Achi could feel his conviction waver. I'm begging you here from one man to another. This is my one request. Susumu, I'm sorry. Achi could barely croak out the words. I'm leaving you in charge. You can't, Susumu pleaded. Please don't say that. Achi turned his back to him in silence. Please, Achi, why won't you listen? I can't possibly beg any harder than this. Even with all the request nonsense? Achi grimaced. Oh, enough with all the request nonsense. There you go. Atika missed. What? Look at you down on your hands and knees like that. Pathetic. Oh. Achi spoke as harshly as he could, fighting to mask his true feelings. I'm fed up with you. All of you. With each word out of his mouth, Achi could feel his own heart breaking. But if he could make the others hate him, at least it would give SOS a reason to stay together. How can you say that? Don't you try and pull that crap. Suzuma's tone had changed from sadness to anger. Fine then, he railed. I'm never asking you for anything again. I'll do what I want. I'll take the reins of SOS. As he walked away, waving vaguely without looking back. Good luck. I mean it. Oi oi, hey Kevin, how's it going? You unlock 5 more emote slots? Let's fucking go! Like on Twitch, like the subscriber emotes? Because I know, right, there's also like the beta feature where it's like, oh, followers get to access certain emotes, right? That's how like everyone here should be able to use like Lumi Gun and stuff like that. Are you talking about like the follower free emotes or the subscriber emotes? Oh, I didn't read the last line. Bad. Sub. Ooh, okay, okay. Have you decided how you're gonna make the emotes, or if you're gonna get an artist to do them? Sometimes I think that maybe I could apologize to those guys and we could go back to the good old days again. But that's never gonna happen. Not unless Suzune gets better. He stared into the distance at nothing in particular. At least he sorted out how he'd felt about his former pals. There's nothing that can help your sister? Hitomi asked. She needs a heart transplant. And the problem with heart transplants is that the timing is tricky. Even if there's a donor available, the transplant has to be performed within 4 hours or things get dicey. Is a heart transplant, like, actually medically possible? Like, I actually don't know. Like, I know this sounds like a dumb question and complete ignorance, but I don't know if that's actually medically possible. IDK yet? Do you think you're gonna, like, I guess what I was asking is, like, do you want to make them yourself, or are you gonna ask someone to do them for you? Also, right now, not totally unrelated, but I have neighbors. I'm not like neighbors. I think they're, well, no, they are neighbors. They're like 2 houses down, but they've been having a bit of a, not rager, but they've been like ballin' in their backyard since about noon today, like blasting music, and I think like they're having a cookout of some sort because I can smell the food. It smells really good. But holy shit, why are you guys doing this on a Sunday? Like, I swear, if they don't quiet down by 10, like, bro, please. Maybe I am a boomer. Probably ask the person who made yours. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, she's really, really great. She's really sweet and really chill and works really fast, so do highly recommend. She, like, every single time I've asked her, like, I've commissioned her for anything, she's like, sorry, this might take me a little longer than last time, and then still within, like, a day and a half, she shows me, like, first draft sketches, and I'm just like, bro, when you said that you needed time, I was assuming, like, yeah, you know, I'll, like, probably hear back from you, like, next weekend or something, because, like, you know, day job and shit. Invite yourself to the cookout, but I don't want to eat their cookout food. I was very happy eating my leftover oyakodon today for lunch and dinner. If they don't quiet down by 10 is the most boomer thing you've said. Come on, Ian. You know me. I've definitely said more boomer things. Like, it's actually, well, the thing I've kind of noticed about people. So the thing is, I've lived with noisy neighbors before, right? It's not necessarily noisy neighbors that's the problem, because if they play music, like, that's one thing. But my neighbors, like, in this current apartment, they love, like, blasting bass. And so you just, I don't know about you guys, but, like, everything just feels like it's vibrating when there's, like, a really heavy bass. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but, like, I feel like I'm actually kind of sensitive to, like, vibrations in particular. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like, I've talked about this with my friend, and he's kind of like, oh, like, it's like tangentially related to how like, oh, like, so I also learned recently that like ASMR, right? There's a difference between like, like liking pleasing sounds, but then another one when you have like a very like visceral kind of physical reaction to a sound. And I didn't know that the latter one is actually uncommon because so he was like, yeah, I have this like for me sounds actually a lot of the time trigger a bit of a physical response. So um like with like nice happy sounds, like I actually kind of feel something bump, like I feel something in my chest bumping almost. And then like for me, like Velcro in particular, I hear Velcro, I actually get like mini vomit because I hate the sound of Velcro. And like I know, like, I guess like ASMR people usually think it's, I know I it's like it's not necessarily just pleasing sounds, it's just like ASMR is just the concept of like you hear a sound and you have a physical reaction to it. And so like for me, like heavy bass makes something like tick off like very in a physical sense in my body, and it's really bothersome. That makes sense. I'm glad. I'm glad I don't just sound like a psycho because I feel like I really do. Like when I tell people that I hear Velcro and I kind of like mini vomit a little, or I get that like I have a bit of a gag reflex, they're like, "That's really weird." I'm like, "I know. I don't like it. It's why I learned to tie my shoes really early in life." You guys think I'm joking, but I'm not. But like loud music is one thing, but just like when there's bass, it's just really, it's usually it's why I don't love concerts either a lot of the time, because like all of the sounds are like super amplified, and like again, when you go to a concert, they like pumping that bass. You don't like music with good bass lines? Well, the thing is, like I think I do like music, like when I pop in my headphones and there's like nice like, and you just like music does hit different when you pop in the headphones and you just hear the bass, right? Because you can't really hear bass without headphones on. But the thing is, I think stereos, like speaker stereos with bass, that is a kind of like it triggers something very very uncomfortable, like bothersome for me. Let's go to a concert. Let's not, Kevin. E. Do you mean like club music bass, like wub wub wub? I think more so of the club music bass, like wub wub wub. But again, I think specifically club music bass is like when it's like a bass coming through like a speaker system. If it's just like kind of in my headphones, then like that is less bad. So like when cars are blasting and vibrating, yeah, that makes me feel physically uncomfortable. Wob wob wob. Such a cute blob. But yeah, like again, I've lived with I can't speak. I've lived with noisy neighbors before who like to blast music, and like it's not the blasting music part that's like the most bothersome. It's just specifically when I feel the vibrations. Anyways, let's stop talking about how Velcro makes me want to vomit, even though we have kind of drifted from that, but thinking about it gives me a headache. So anyway, I didn't realize someone with a heart that's a match for Suzune would need to die somewhere near her, somewhere they could perform the surgery within that 4-hour window. The odds of that happening are so small it would be a miracle, which is what my sister's been waiting for. Achi thumped the left side of his chest. If my heart would do the trick, I'd gladly let her have it. Damn it, I've got a strong heart, too. He thumped himself on the chest again and again. He didn't mention it to Hitomi, but Suzune's blood type made finding her a heart transplant even more difficult. She had Bombay blood. What is that? A type of blood that does not correspond to the more common types of blood, AB or O or AB. In some instances, a standard blood typing yields a result of O in such individuals. First discovered in the city of Bombay, now Mumbai on India's west coast, the blood type takes its name from the city due to the relatively high incident rate amongst the inhabitants. Is Bombay blood a real thing? Is this made up? I don't know. It was one of the rarest blood types in the world. Apparently there were only a few dozen people in all of Japan, who had it. Nazy neighbors. I know, I'm getting all the sounds mixed up. Horse neighbors. You know, horses would probably be better neighbors at this point. If Suzuki were ever to receive a heart transplant, it would need to be from someone who also had Bombay blood. That sounds familiar, actually. Really? I'm gonna Google it real quick on the side before I sound really fucking dumb. Oh, okay, abstract. Wait, are we out of risk? What does that mean? The Bombay blood group is a rare blood group. Phenotypes of this blood group lacking H antigen on the red cell membrane and have anti-H in the serum. It also fails to express any A, like comma, B, not AB, A, comma, B, or H antigen on their red cells or other tissues. The existence of a human H genetic polymorphism was first established. Okay. Okay, so HH. That's the type. Okay. It is a real thing, actually. Okay. Achi? Hitomi sounded like she was on the verge of tears. She must feel really bad for Susune. Suzune, not Susune. If you did manage to find a heart for your sister, what would you do? What do you mean? Oh my god, is Hitomi gonna tell me that she's Bombay blood type? Say, if you happen to cross someone who was a donor match, I would do anything. He'd murder them. Anything? Yeah, whatever it took. I'd risk my own life if it meant helping Suzune. I mean, at that point, I'd assume God had granted me a miracle or something. He told me he's gonna say she's fucking Bombay blood. Mr. Tanaka? Unfortunately for these two, it was not Mr. Tanaka. Right now, Tanaka was at the Osawa residence on his way to speak with Kenji Osawa, who was washing the dishes after lunch. Okay, we will... This probably unblocks Osawa's story. We're gonna finish Achi's chapter first, though. Hitomi's voice was barely a squeak. For a moment, all was silent. Maybe it's just a cat? Oh my god, okay. Like I said, I'm like 100,000% certain that Tama is Maria. Like 1,000,000% certain. Although, why would Tama be the one opening the door here? I don't know if she is, but Tama is Maria. Like, you cannot change my mind. The only thing that would change my mind is the game literally saying that Tama is not Maria. But there's no evidence that anyone right now could show me otherwise that Maria is not, or Tama is not Maria. Also, oh man, I don't, like, sorry, I just need to, like, rub my eyes a bit. I think, the funny thing is, in New York, I've never particularly had an issue with seasonal allergies, because when I was growing up, I had really bad spring allergies. But New York, not so much, because, you know, there's not as much pollination, and not as much, like, flowers and shit. But, I have always lived in slightly more quote urban areas, in the sense, like, I lived in Manhattan for a few years, and then when I lived in the area I used to live in Brooklyn, like, it was residential, but it still kind of looked more Manhattan-ish in that there were fewer trees, but like right outside my apartment there's like 3 flower trees, so I think I'm getting a little more allergies this year than I normally have gotten. So I'm rubbing out my eyes. Okay, we're gonna jump to Tama. We're gonna jump to Tama. Okay. This has to be the reveal, right? She takes her head off. It's time I skin this cat. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. Okay, we already read this. It comes off. I did it. I slipped out of the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandoned it as I head for the knick-knack shop. It's Maria. It's 1,000%. What?! I'm in shambles. Malding, dude. Maybe it's just a cat? Achi suggested. See? No. Why would they be bringing this up in the Hitomi story? Or I guess it's Achi. But, like, why would we bring this up when Hitomi's around if the cat is not somehow related to Hitomi or Achi? And why would the cat be related to Achi? Therefore, the cat must be related to Hitomi, which means the cat is Maria! I'd head to a shower so fast. Honestly, like, I wonder how gross that rental suit was to begin with. Like costume rentals. Do they wash the suits? You know? So yeah, I would also head to a shower so fast. The doorknob? I can't speak! The doorknob rattled ominously. You really think that's Tanaka? Achi asked. I'm not sure. If it were him, I think he'd probably say something. Achi grabbed Hitomi's hand. We'd better hide. The two of them slipped behind the large piece of plywood stage dressing. Not washer safe. Ew! And then, you know, dry clean only. But, you know, we all know these rental companies ain't gonna pay for, dry cleaning. Wait, what? The door swung open with a loud creak. In stepped a cat. But Tama got the head off. So this isn't Tama. This is another cat. It's just a kitty cat. A giant kitty cat walking upright. That's moderately horrifying. Achi and Hitomi stared in confusion as someone in a cat costume slipped into the room. There was something vaguely sinister about the fuzzy figure. That's not Tama, though. That's a different cat, I think. Because Tama got the head off. Right? The cat had both hands stuffed into its pockets as it shuffled. And it shuffled as it walked, dragging one leg. What if it's the guy with the cane? Because it said dragging one leg. You think that's someone with the theater troupe? Achi whispered. Maybe? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna just real quick go rinse off my face because my eyes are so itchy. I will be back in a minute. Man, honestly, when you have itchy eyes, washing your face feels so good. But yeah. Growing up, I hated spring. Which I know is weird because in this part of this part of the States, lots of people love spring. Very, very good weather. But I hate spring. Anyways. But yeah, he got a limp. The two huddled in the shadows, pressed almost cheek to cheek. They watched as the cat rifled around inside one of its pockets and then pulled something out. Keys. It was a bunch of keys. No doubt the ones it had used to get inside. Achi's eyes fixed on the furry mitt that held them. Oh god, why are they bloody? It was stained dark red. That could be only one thing. Blood. In that moment, Achi finally realized what was going on. That's no theater guy. It was the assassin. He'd used the catsuit to slip past the theater people and had somehow gotten his hands on the storeroom keys. Now he tossed the keys away, then delicately adjusted the costume's wobbly head. He told me we gotta run. Eh? Tommy seemed frozen, mesmerized. He's gonna turn to look at them. This is so creepy. The cat turned directly toward them. The fur around its mouth was stained crimson. Hitomi let out a high-pitched cry of shock. The cat drew its other hand out of its pocket. Clutched his mitt, was a gun. That's not a myth, that's just the dude's hand. Achi and Hitomi had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Is this a bad end? Oh my god. Disguised in the cat costume. As it happens, it's Tama's fault. She tossed the suit away after taking it off, allowing the assassin to find it and use it to deceive. Oh my god. Pfft, cats don't have thumbs. This is a good point. Oh my god, so does that mean we don't find out who Tama is? Oh. That is a very, very, very unexpected twist, not gonna lie. It's not worth the struggle. Guess this cat's staying in the bag. I figure I'll head to the knick-knack shop as is. Back in the costume. Oof! Oh my god, all that to fix one choice. That goes back to the exact same keep out. I mean, it makes sense, but oh, molding. Every second we get further and further from discovering who Tama is, and I'm 1000% certain it's Maria. I thought that we were gonna, that was gonna be the big twist that comes at the end of this hour, as we find out that Tama is Maria, but... Anyways, sometimes I think that... Okay, let's fast forward a bit. I would do anything. And Hitomi's gonna say that she is Bombay blood. Mr. Tanaka? Hitomi's voice was barely a squeak. For a moment, all was silent. Maybe it's just a cat? Achi suggested. Or not. So that's why this jumps to Tama's story, because then you make the choice of if she should keep the suit on or not. Suddenly someone hit the door hard. It sounded like they were trying to break the lock. You really think that's Tanaka? Achi asked. I'm not sure. If that were him, I think he'd probably say something. Achi grabbed Hitomi's hand. We'd better hide. The two of them slipped behind a large piece of plywood stage dressing. And here come the hands again. Oh. Oh, the door swung open with a loud creak. Guess they want to draw it out. Madge. I know, right? I'm Madge about this. In stepped the man with a cane. The cane. What the heck? Achi whispered. What's he doing here? Gun drawn, the assassin prowled slowly around the storeroom. Honestly, these assassins are actually really fucking smart. Normally villains are dumb AF, right? But of all the possible buildings in this Tokyo neighborhood that they could be in, they somehow managed to always find the right one. What the heck? Respect. Achi and Hitomi crouched behind the plywood prop, trying not to make a sound. The man moved out of their line of sight. Achi gazed longingly at the door. Achi risked a peek around the corner of the plywood. He still couldn't see the man with the cane. The door was maybe 5 meters away. What should they do? Oh god. This is a hard one. I mean, it seems almost as if he knows we're in here, so... I feel like he knows we're in here for a fact, so we should just dip. We need to make a run for it. Achi took firm hold of Hitomi's hand. Uh-oh. Suddenly they heard the sound of a cell phone vibrating from behind a tall piece of plywood leaning by the door. The assassin stepped out from behind it. If they made a run for it, they'd probably have bumped right into him. That was a close one. XD, the game bailed me out. Achi wiped away a few beads of sweat. I'm sure this is the place. His voice was low and confident. Uh-oh, did he have friends? Villains aren't supposed to have friends, they work alone. Still clutching the phone, the assassin wandered deeper into the storeroom. Achi and Hitomi took the opportunity to slip out the door. They ran through the alleyways back toward the main road. Before they reached it, however, they'd suddenly found their path cut off by one of the foreigners who'd chased them earlier, the accomplice of the man with the pipe. He stood waiting for them, holding a knife in one hand. "Show me what you got there!" "A knife! No!" Out of the frying pan and into the fire. If they turned back, Achi knew the man with the cane might catch up with them, and he had a gun. Achi slipped off his sleeveless jacket and wrapped it around his left arm. He was going to have to use his left arm to guard against the knife while punching with his right hand. He clenched his fist and braced himself, and then suddenly he froze. Huh? A small dark silhouette dropped from somewhere up above. Landing deftly, the newcomer lunged toward the man with the knife, closing the gap between them in the blink of an eye. Ninja! Guys, whatever you do, don't get the chicken tenders from Sonic. Is it that bad? Are you okay? Is there a bit of a stomach situation going on, or does it just taste bad? Press 1 for help. The figure delivered a swift chop to the back of the man's neck. Hiya! He didn't say hiya, but he dropped to the pavement like a dead man. Is he holding a cane? No, that's just the edge of the wall, I think. What the heck? Achi couldn't believe his eyes. It was a small-statured young woman with Middle Eastern features. Hitomi let out a little gasp. Is her friend? Kanan? Okay, we have finished. Okay. So let's go back and let's go to the jump point that involved Tanaka so we can jump to Osawa's story. So, okay. We have finished Achi's story for this hour. We've also finished Minorikawa's. And everyone else is at a keep out or bad end. Achi. So let's take this jump to Osawa. They taste awful. Well, how do you mess up the menu save option? I know, right? Chicken tenders are like like, how do you mess that up? They have a very strong onion taste. Onion tendi. Ooh. That's definitely interesting. That is different. Very different indeed. Director, if you have a moment. Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you. Yes, of course. Osawa took the bug tracker from his pocket and handed it back to Kajiwara. I won't be needing this anymore. As soon as they left the kitchen, Tanaka leaned in close and whispered to him. I got an email from Hitomi. He showed his cell phone to Osawa. It looks like my sister is being held captive in a blue minivan somewhere in Shibuya. But that man is still chasing me, so I can't really go looking for it. A blue minivan? Allow me to handle this, sir. I'll figure something out. Osawa knew that he trusted Tanaka for a reason. Thank you, he said with a bow. You wouldn't happen to know any place she would have gone, do you, sir? What? It's just that all she told me is that she's been moving around. I'm sorry, I don't really have any idea, Osawa replied. He was ashamed to say it. There wasn't a single place he knew of where his daughter might be inclined to go. I see. Tanaka, picking up on his discomfort, was visibly embarrassed himself. Oh, Tanaka, picking up on his discomfort, was visibly embarrassed himself. I was like, what is that sentence? He hastened to change the subject. By the way, how did your talk with Mr. Makino go? I confirmed that he's behind the human testing. But I don't know who sent me those emails. Tanaka paused for a moment in thought, looking like he might have a hunch. Alright then, he said. We'll have to talk in more detail later. With that, the assistant director headed for the front door. Mr. Osawa? Kajiwara spoke from the kitchen door. Peeping in on me again, huh? Osawa grumbled. Thankfully, it didn't appear that the detective had overheard his conversation with Tanaka. And good grief, the thing is annoying. Noisy. If it's broken, why don't you just throw it out? The sound from the bug tracker grew fainter and fainter. Something wasn't right, Osawa now realized. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara said. This is my bug tracker. So, Osawa huffed. What I mean is, sir, this one isn't broken. What? A chill ran up Osawa's spine. He swallowed audibly. I've pinpointed the source of the signal, Kajiwara said. It's coming from Mr. Tanaka. No, Osawa thought. I must have misheard that. Say that again? I've located the source of the signal. It's coming from Mr. Tanaka. I knew Tanaka's sus. The detective repeated. This time, Osawa heard it crystal clear. I'm certain of it. Mr. Tanaka has a listening device on him. Spooky. Osawa felt the blood draining from his face. If someone had been listening in on the conversation just now, then they'd heard about the email from Hitomi. If the kidnappers were the ones listening, that meant Maria's life was now in danger. I'll go after him, sir. Kajiwara broke into a sprint. Osawa followed close behind. Oh, okay. So we've officially hit the conclusion of Osawa's story. So all that's left is Tama. Something is blocking Tama. And, Kano. Okay. Tick, 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 tick. It is quite annoying. But hello, Immortal Code. How are you doing today on this lovely Sunday evening? We are presently at a bit of a need to figure out how to unblock Tama's story because, right, there's something blocking Kano right now, and there's something blocking Kano right now, and I think it's probably in Tama's story. Sorry, I was responding to a message from someone. Am I still gonna be blocked by this? Okay, there's something somewhere else blocking her. Doing pretty good, glad to hear it. I'm doing pretty okay, myself. A little sleepy, but you know, doing alright. Not. There's a someone. Maybe, okay, I just want to check this decision one more time real quick. What did I pick in the past? It's no trouble, I'm heading out now myself. Gotta run before those guys show up. What guys do you mean? Nobody. It's just a personal thing is all. They parted ways outside the building, and Minorikawa headed off to the cafe to put his article together. I think I have read all that before already. Perfect timing. Okay, yeah. We did encounter this before already. It's not Kano that's blocking Tama, is it? Because now Kano no longer has bad end. Along last, the traffic began to move again. Almost as soon as it did, however, Stanley had to slam on the brakes. Oh, what? Okay, interesting. A frantic-looking man had jumped out in front of the car. Whoa, hey, what the hell are you doing? Kano spluttered. The stranger plastered his face against the passenger side window. Open up, he shouted. Open the door! The guy showed every sign of total panic. Okay, so, I mean, we're done with Minorikawa. I think that will just take me back to the story. I made it for the continuation! Hello, Wallaby Trek, how are you doing today? What did I miss from the last point you ended last stream on? So, what you missed is, so I think last stream we ended right, with Osawa's, story that I had to keep out because one of the choices I made in this story actually blocked the ending for Achi. So I changed it so that Tanaka would answer Hitomi's emails, and so now Achi's story could hit a conclusion for this chapter. And so Achi's story ends with him and Hitomi running into someone Hitomi knows who saved them from the assassin. And now where we're at is we're at Kano's story. 'Cause excuse me, fixing Achi's story fixed part of Tama's story, which fixed Kano's story. You hear about Splatoon 3? It's coming soon. Hell yeah, the 9th of September. It got its release date. I'm so excited. Do you think you're gonna get it? The guy showed every sign of total panic. Don't do it, Stanley warned. Kano hesitated. It wasn't like they could be it wasn't like they could just drive off with this fellow clinging to the car. Whoops. Please, you gotta help me. The man slipped his fingers through the gap in the window, trying to force it further open. Help me! Well, what's your deal? Help me! Sir, just tell me what. Help me! Look, up ahead, Stanley exclaimed. Kano whipped his head around. There, walking along the sidewalk ahead, was Al-Kano 1, very much not in custody. What the damn hell? Kano tried to jump out of the car, but the frantic stranger had gotten his upper body wedged into the window and the door wouldn't open. Stanley, his usual steely expression replaced with a look of shock, exited on the driver's side and went after Al-Kano 1. Kano shouted at the man in the window, so now Kano can't get stuck at the police station. Man needs to work on his teeth. I know, right? Ugh, kinda crooked and yellow. Get out of the way! Stanley, wait! Alright, get it. Well, we know we need to let them stall, so I think anything but A is probably fine. Stanley, wait! Kano called out. It didn't appear that Stanley had heard him, though. Kano tried to shake free and got through the driver's side, but the guy still clung on for dear life. Seriously, knock it off. Then suddenly the man was yanked back through the window from behind. A pair of rough-looking men had grabbed him by his lower body. No, 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 he screamed. I can't do 80 days of hard labor. Still, this man was managing to cling onto the car door. Just give it up and let go already, snarled one of the assailants. The pair shifted their grip and pulled even harder. They pushed up the release date for Xenoblade 3 2. 2 whole months earlier. I've never seen it happen. I know, right? Who would have thought release dates get bumped earlier? Wild. I always just thought if in the very unlikely case of a game like being finished early, you know, they just partied up earlier. Because like, doesn't the game being released early make it hard for marketing team and shit too? You know, a release date isn't just picked willy-nilly, it's a target goal, so... A target date, sorry, that's the word. You make sure that everyone has all the time to do what they need. Kano heard the sound of the tearing fabric as the two toughs tumbled backwards. Oh my god, just like that, the crazed stranger was stripped down to his boxers. He let out a pathetic wail. Ah, man. The two toughs burst into uproarious laughter at the sight. Now's your chance, one of them managed to sputter. The pants man snatched up his ruined garment and bolted like a startled hare. Still cackling madly, the two pursuers rushed after him. His literal heart underwear. Remember, kids, make good business decisions. Maybe they had a vision. Maybe it was ready already? Monolith is very adamant about non-crunch culture. No, 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 so what I'm saying, I'm not saying necessarily that they're crunching to have it released 2 months earlier, but what I'm kind of saying is like, oh, I always just imagine that if a game was somehow done 2 months early, then, you know, they'd kind of just still wait for the release date, because moving a release date is kind of hard. There's a lot of pressure on the business and marketing side. But, like, I didn't mean it as in they crunched to try and finish early. But, like, you know, target date, kind of. Nemo, how's life? Hey, Snow. I've been chillin'. How you doing today, my friend? You're also working on Breath of the Wild too, so maybe to make time for that. Yeah. Still 1 year out. Hi, Sam the Great. What am I, chopped liver? Grr. Fine. I'm not asking you how you are from now on. God. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Please. I'm sorry, Snow. I love you. Kano was still staring dumbstruck at the spectacle when Stanley returned to the car. No luck. I lost track of him. This doesn't make sense, Kano said, forcing himself to refocus on the case. All Kano-wan was taken back to the precinct. What's he doing walking free? Stanley gave him a dubious look. Have you seriously not figured out, he asked. Or is this some kind of Japanese joke I'm not getting? What are you talking about? Kano replied. Do you know something I don't? Evidently, I do. Your detective Tateno let him go on purpose. That's the only explanation. Enraged at this suggestion, Kano took a swing at him, but Stanley coolly caught his fist. It's not me you should be punching, the American warned. It's Tateno. I knew it! Hello, Penguin Coco, the Penguin Queen. That's more like it. Hello. Oh, great. Snow Wolf. There we go. This music is spooky. The music in this game is so funny. The sound design is just really funny in general. Like, it goes from, like, action, but then, like, really eerie, creepy violence for no reason. Eon the almighty DM. Snow, I hope you know you're gonna have to use these titles from now on. You're kind of, you know, throwing yourself into the pit with this one. Abashed, Kano radioed up Kuze on the wireless. Sir, did Detective Tateno bring Tariq Al-Karawan into the precinct? It would appear that, Detective Tateno has gone rogue, Kuze replied with chagrin. He what? Surely Kano had misheard. We received an eyewitness account. Someone saw him allowing the suspect to go free. That's what I said last time. The trash guy was... Oh my god. No, it can't be. We currently do not know Detective Tateno's whereabouts, or just what the hell is going on with him. After Kano ended the call, Stanley let out a low chuckle. Heh, I see. Looks like you had a traitor in your midst. Kano grabbed him by the collar. Stanley snorted, what are you trying to pull here? Tell me what you know, Kano snapped. All I did is state the facts. Look, I watched that man risk his life to talk down a would-be arsonist. He's a dyed-in-the-wool detective. He'd never betray anybody. I see, Stanley murmured. DM? I'm assuming Dungeon Master, no? Because... Eon, you're a DM of games in my life. If you don't like it, Eon, the bright light of knowledge. Eon is the Dungeon Master of your life. This piano sounds like it'll transition to the Guardian theme from Oh my god, and suddenly, like right behind Kano right now, you can see the window, just the Guardian's eye appears, and then pee 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 as it locks its laser on you. I see, Stanley murmured, then he's the real deal. Kano stared in surprise. He'd expected an argument. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. Tano risked his life in order to get people to trust him. He's a dyed-in-the-wool spy, is what he is. Kano didn't have the words. He clenched his fist, trembling once more. He'd fumble for his cell phone again. He's a spy, traitor. He dialed Tateno's number. The phone rang 5 times, but failed to connect. There has to be a reason for this, Kano muttered. Tateno must know something we don't. Really now, Stanley scoffed. And what makes you so sure of that? Because Detective Tateno was sure this kidnapping wasn't about the ransom. I mean, he knows it's not, XD. Kano's mind drifted back to 9 o'clock that morning. Ahead of their stakeout at the Scramble, he was walking with Tateno through the halls of the Shibuya precinct. We're going to do a bang-up job out there, Detective Tateno, he chirped. Maybe if the guy's free, he will lead him to something? I don't know if I believe or not that Tateno is a good guy. Because I don't know if I necessarily believe he's a spy, but also, like, obviously the fact that, like, Kano worships this dude. There's something fishy about that. Like, there's always been something a little fishy about Kano, like, idolizing this dude. And the fucking Dick Dictum book, that's too much. But I don't know if Tateno is necessarily a spy. Hydrate, slurpy, slurpy. Oh, wrong cup. He was maybe a bit too excited about getting to take part in such a major case. Tateno patted Kano on the back. You need to take a step back. You're not letting yourself see the forest or the trees. What do you mean, sir? What I mean is that this is no ordinary kidnapping. Tateno's words had triggered a little revelation. You're talking about the location for the ransom handoff, aren't you? Kano said. It doesn't make sense for the criminals to pick such a major intersection. Warmer, Tateno replied. Kano frowned inwardly. He'd been so sure that that was the answer. Have you thought about why they asked you to have the sister make the handoff? Kano thought some more before answering. Because women are easier to deal with, he suggested XD. Colder. If that was the case, why not pick the mother? No. What worries me is the fact that the Osawa girls are twins. So, okay. So again. My theory here is they meant to take, well, actually, if they're twins, Maria and Hitomi would have the same blood type, no? Unless they're not identical twins. So either way, I think, right, they did mean to get Hitomi. They wanted Hitomi, for her blood, because her blood was somehow important in making that UA virus, and the crime syndicate wants to get their hands on her so they can make more of it, like, because it's like a weapon of war too, and that's why the assassin is like telling Achi like, yo, she's better off dead, because he wants Hitomi dead. So the assassin is different from the crime syndicate, like the assassin with the cane. Again, that's my theory. And then, right, Tama is Maria. What worries me is the fact that the Osawa girls are twins. They're having us send someone who looks exactly like someone to the handoff who looks identical to the girl they kidnap. What's going to happen when we do that? What is going to happen, sir? Kano asked. I'm not sure yet, but I have a feeling the kidnappers' plan hinges on it. The two exited through the precinct's main entrance. Up ahead, rows of buildings stood tall against the backdrop of a bright blue sky. Tateno let out a quiet sigh. To think that so many terrible things are happening out on such a beautiful day. Saw one case and others waiting, he went on, as always. What is it about people that drives them to do such horrible things? A girl abducted out of pure greed. I mean, we all know it's more than just the ransom. It's not just the greed, right? When I think of how her parents must feel like it, I almost can't bear it. They made their way towards the scramble. Tateno continued talking in a quiet voice. My father was a raging alcoholic. The house was always a complete mess. He was loud, violent, never had any money, and always reeked of booze. My mother would cry and cry. I was afraid to come home. Every day I stayed out playing as late as I could possibly manage. Kano could hear the pain in Tateno's voice. That life took too much of a toll on my mother. She died when I was still in grade school. My father, he just got worse. I was there with him at the end after he'd wasted away to almost nothing. Not the sort of child that I'd ever wish on anybody. It sounds like you really went through a lot. Kano hated himself for uttering such an empty platitude, but he had no idea what else to say. Kano. As old as I am, I still don't really know what it is to be happy. I think that's probably because I've never known what it's like to have a happy family. Tateno sounded so forlorn. Only happiness I know is how to protect. The only happiness I know how to protect is other people's happiness. Kano heard those words in the soul of a true detective. I just hope you're ready. Kano did his best to keep his voice as calm and level as he could, lifting up his clenched fist. Because if I find proof that Tateno is innocent, I'm planting this right in your jaw. I don't know, Sam. What do you think? Do you think Tateno's story is bullshit or honest? Because it's very sad. Stanley gave him a wry smile. The traffic had finally diminished, and they rapidly drew close to their destination. The syndicate's hangout was in Tomigaya, to the southwest of Yoyogi Park. The ratty building looked like it might come crashing down at any minute. The Black Lodge sign out front looked deliberately ominous. Kano knew the place as a bar frequented by expats from various countries, as well as a hotbed of criminal activity. I'll take point, Stanley said. You back me up. He pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. It was a compact Glock, a model frequently used by the FBI and CIA. Kano drew his own gun, and the two cautiously made their way inside. At the end of the hallway was a wooden door. Stanley signaled with his eyes. Kano gave a tiny nod, and Stanley kicked the door in. The stench of blood hit them as soon as they stepped inside. Kano let out a startled gasp. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled across the floor. He recognized them all. They were men who participated in the repeated attaché case handoffs. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Stanley took a closer look. The blood's not fully dry. These guys weren't killed that long ago. Connell quickly scanned the bar high and low, but there was no sign of the killer in hiding. There was no chase of Maria either. One of the fallen men had let out a faint, strained groan. "Hey," Connell called out. "Stay with us." He hunched down beside the wounded man. I want to believe he's a good lad, but he's gone dark at a bad time. But, like, I don't, like, do you think he was always a spy, or was, like, good and then went dark, you know? Because I don't think he was a spy from the beginning, per se. I think he was a good detective, at least at some point. But, because, like, what Stanley is proposing is that Tateno was a spy the whole time. And I don't know if I believe that, necessarily. A brief gurgle rose from the man's throat. He was clearly struggling to say something, but his voice was too garbled, too indistinct for Connell to make out any coherent words. I feel like if he's bad, something warped his view. Yeah, like, I don't think he was bad from the beginning. So, like, I feel like there's something maybe he's being blackmailed about. Kanan. I was thinking! The girl who saved, he told me, is probably, because, like, right? It was a girl that stabbed Stanley, in the bad ending, or like, actually, no, I'm being sexist, but it was someone with, like, long dark hair, okay? And so I was thinking maybe it's the girl that saves Hitomi and Achi Kanan in their story. Or maybe they're protecting her? What was that? I don't know. But there was no more. The dying man went limp and still. To be continued. Okay. We have officially gotten somewhere. So maybe Tama's story... I wonder, can I get through this now? Got a refund for my chicken tendies, all is well, hell yeah. And my Coke Zero because I didn't like it? I mean, how would you know, how did you know? I mean, you should have known beforehand you don't like Coke Zero, no? Did you get a new meal? Yeah, did you get something different? Okay, nope, so... I'm kind of at a loss for how to unblock Tama's story. So there is a jump somewhere? I mean... We've taken this jump before, right? And it just led us to where we've already been. $13.35. We've already been here. They should make a Halloween DLC for this game. I'll call it Shibuya Meltdown. I remember that Instagram page. I love that page for context. Shibuya Meltdown is an Instagram page that posts like drunk people that passed out in Shibuya after they, you know, party too hard, drank too much, you know. That'd be a good one. Got it delivered in order 2 corn dogs on the side and some fries, so I'm not hungry. Any games you've been enjoying? Elden Ring and Kirby. Snow, are you interested in the new Kirby game? At all? Just the usual. What's the usual, Sam? What are the regulars, huh? I'm not tapped in. Splat, Project Diva Genshin. Are you still playing Project Diva as well, Sam? I actually did, I guess, like, cause, right, since I stopped playing it for a while, I just never asked, like, talked about it with anyone. Have you been playing it in the last few months still, yourself? Man, when are they gonna be done with Teapot Fix? I know, right? There was supposed to be an event, there was supposed to be an event in the teapot, but since the teapot's broken, like, yo, where's our Freemos as compensation for not getting the teapot event? Am I right? I heard a rumor they're gonna run the Marvelous merchandise again, where, like, you just give the guy random shit and he gives you Primos. And you know what? That's acceptable. Those are our Primos. Also, yeah, I really don't know how to unblock this, honestly. What if I jump over to Minorikawa from here? Because this is at 1340. It's the correct timestamp, at least. I have a friend who's an incredible amount of debt, myself, Minorikawa said. He runs a publishing company, but there's a big mix-up with the scratch cards in a magazine and... Scratch cards? It's not important, Minorikawa said. Letting more people know about the whole scratch card fiasco certainly wouldn't do Toyama any favors. Anyhow, debt is a terrible thing, Minorikawa nodded sagely. By the way, this is unrelated, but... No, but we've already... No, we needed to be at the spot by the time they parted ways. I do never fully stop playing, I just tend to play a little bit each week or so. Ah! I did not know. That's neat. Like I said, Project Diva will be coming back into the somewhat more regular rotation. I will be dropping a new schedule probably tomorrow. Once I, make it. Like the image. But yeah, it does mean we're gonna reduce some Splatoon, because I'm also feeling the Splatoon burnout a little lately. But okay, I actually... Shoot, really? Wait, there's a choice here? Huh. What is the getting out the cell phone decision? Finding back his fit of pique. Kano got out his cell phone. Oh, maybe let's call Kajiwara instead and see what that does. He dialed up Detective Kajiwara, who was stationed at the Osawa residence. He hoped a little more information about the family's two daughters might shed some light on the situation. The detective answered promptly. Kajiwara here. Hey, it's Kano. Kano? A horrid jarring beeping was audible from the other end of the line. What's that noise? Kano asked. Heard that sound, but I actually just like bopped my entire headset off my head by mistake. Me punching the mic. Sorry, hold on, I can't really hear you. Also, the coin compensation for Teapot is so bad. All I use the coins on is resin. I have like 50k coins. I've been getting the EXP books and the Mora as well, XD. But, yeah, no, I want Primos. Please and thank you. We should be getting Primos, honestly, since the event was supposed to give Primos, no? XD. Okay, go on. It sounded like Kajiwara had moved away from the source of the noise, although Kano could still hear it faintly in the background. He explained he was looking for more information on the Osawa girls. Honestly, Detective Kano, I thought you were more mature than this, Kajiwara said disapprovingly. Bruh. Come again? Kano said bewildered. What's with the attitude all of a sudden? You've got a little crush, don't you? Kajiwara told him. What? What? No, Detective, that isn't why. You mustn't let yourself get personally attached to the investigation. Still, I was young and impulsive myself once. I guess I can tell you one thing. Bruh. Kano kept his cell phone pressed tight against his ear. The two girls, they look exactly alike. Kajiwara kept his voice low as if he were revealing a major secret. Bruh. This is peak bruh energy. But Kano knew this already. Everyone assigned on the investigation had been informed that the girls were twins at the previous night's briefing. However, Kajiwara continued, still sotto voce. I'm going out. Good luck with your dreams. Get great Sam, Penguin Queen, and Eon the bright light of knowledge. Alright. Bye bye, Snow. Thanks for stopping in, but have a lovely rest of your night. Unless they're gonna run it later, Primos have been building up so slow. Yeah! Like, I kind of think what they're doing right now is trying to bide time to see if they could possibly still run the event. Either, like, this patch or next. But even if it came next patch, like, bro, they should give us primo compensation for this patch, XE. People probably were relying on those to get Ayaka. Some people. The BW Low Health remix? What? Straight Flames? What are you talking about, Yan? Okay. Their personalities are pretty different. The younger sister, Hitomi, is quiet and reserved. But Maria is apparently more of a busybody. I see. Kano looked back on Hitomi standing in front of the Hachiko statue. She had indeed seemed like an introvert, but Kano had also sensed her intense commitment to helping her sister. Perhaps she was less demonstrative, but her heart certainly seemed to be in the right place. Why? Tell me why. Kano heard someone in the back shouting in the background wherever Kajiwara was. What was that just now? He asked. Mr. Osawa? The girl's his father. I think something might have happened. Kajiwara's voice was laced with concern. I should go see what this is all about. Yeah, probably. But Kano, tell me. Yes? Which one is it? Which one do you have a crush on? Neither! Oh my god. Poor Kano can't catch a break. Kano hung up. The Pokemon Black and White low health. Oh, with the beeping sound. That's what we're talking about. Probably trying to figure out if they're going to delay the patch as well. But yes, we need compensation either way. Yeah! Does anyone know if they do end up delaying patch? I know Kevin said, like, apparently 2.7 might be delayed, right? Does anyone know why that is specifically? I haven't actually read too deeply into it. Like, the only knowledge I have of it is Kevin saying 2.7 might be delayed. Is it, like, due to COVID, or something other? At long last, the traffic began to move again. Almost as soon as it did, however, Stanley had to slam on the brakes. Okay. Huh. I mean... Oh, Kano has a jump here now. Like, it doesn't end. Oh, what if we let him in? Oh, I did the wrong. I did the wrong. Kano shouted at the man at the window. Get away, Stanley. Alright, get in. Get in! If the guy was that desperate to get inside, Kano wasn't about to stop him. Besides, he needed to get the guy to calm down and let go of his arm. Ow! The man yelled. Let go! He was the one holding on. Why was he demanding he let go? What the hell is going on? Just as Kano's thought was forming, the crazed stranger was yanked back out of the car. Okay. Dragging Kano with him. I think it's due to COVID lockdown. Is China in lockdown again? Again, I don't really know. I tend to try not to peep the news too much these days because it just makes me sad all the time. I mean, clearly there's something different now about Kano's story, no? Because there's no to be continued anymore. Oh my gosh, wait, so if we don't call Sasayama and found out that Sasayama gave him to Tateno, we get a different ending. So now it says Sasayama let him go. Although, why would this impact Tama's story? I don't really understand, because Tama and Kano have no relation. Oh, okay, no, but Sasayama was supposed to bring Tarika Karawan, and it appears that Tateno Gamro. What? Kano was sure he misheard. What did Tateno have to do with this? We received some eyewitness account. Someone saw him. Oh, okay. Okay, no, so now so now we're back to everything correct, I guess. I'm so confused by how to unblock Tama's story, honestly. Huh. I'm getting a little annoyed, honestly. I don't know how to unblock Tama's story. I'm tempted to just Google it. Fuck it, we're Googling it. Shibuya, Scramble, Tama 1340 keep out. Tama's keep out chapter 13 to 14. What are the clear conditions? I've tried jumping, followed the Japanese walkthrough, but I can't figure it out. Please help me. Got it. Achi's 1350 time frame. There's a jump to Kenji that clears a keep out on the same page. Wait, what? Now Achi has a bad end? What? Oh my god, what is going on? What? Have I just scuffed the whole playthrough? Sorry, just tuning in. Hey, unwise guy, what part is Tama blocked on? So, I think so. Tama is blocked here. Let me show you the time chart. Although we did reach a to be continued for Osawa earlier, but now it's gone, so I screwed something over somewhere else. So Kano has a to be continued. Minorikawa has a to be continued. Just a minute ago, Osawa also had the to be continued. But now, and Achi did too. I was at to be continued for 4 characters, but now Achi has a bad end. So Tama is stuck here. And Osawa's story is reset to here, so let's just fast forward through as much as we can, because we did play Osawa to be continued. But otherwise, how's it going, Unwise Guy? You're here just in time to actually watch me have a meltdown, because I'm confused. Okay, we can't even skip through this, which means there's something here that is what we haven't... Ooh, all of a sudden, a different noise cut in over the bug tracker. Oh! Kano? Because it's Kano calling Kajiwara. Sorry, hold on, I can't really hear you. He headed out of the room, the phone. Osawa was left to wonder what the detective had been... off about. Well, had been about to tell him. The bug tracker was what? So that also means now that Kajiwara doesn't tell Osawa that the bug tracker doesn't work. Did Tama take her costume off? Okay, so we... Just to stop the beeping. We had the ending, right? So Tama still has the costume on. originally. So, again, we had the full correct ending, quote, correct ending for Achi in that, right? Like, she ran into Karan, like Caraan, that saved them from the assassin, right? So, Tama kept the costume on, and Tanaka replied to Hitomi's email, and we got to be continued for Achi, but now that's gone, it reverted to bad end, which means we screwed up somewhere else. But we probably... Oh, shoot, I just went all the way back. Perfect background to have a meltdown to. I'm actually about to explode. Okay, we're just gonna fucking button mash. Because now we have it that Kano called Osawa. Which prevented Kajiwara from telling Osawa that it's his tracker doesn't work. Osawa was left to wonder what the detective had been about to tell him. The bug tracker was what? What the heck was going on? The sound wasn't stopping. Deciding that he'd better do something, Osawa took the bug tracker and checked behind his bookcase. It didn't seem like the signal was from back there either. He proceeded to pull each and every one of the books off of the shelf. Nothing. He checked the area around his computer. He scanned the monitor, the case, the power outlet. He found nothing that could be a listening device anywhere. He found a small screwdriver and dismantled his mouse. The brown circuit board was lined with chips, but nothing appeared out of the ordinary, and still the mechanical sound continued mocking him. Just try to find it. Go ahead, look everywhere. Beep, 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 beep. He was being ridiculed. The sound just wouldn't stop, and still the time ticked past. Had it been 5 minutes? 10? This is probably a bad ending for Osawa. Maybe more. He began to lose hope, and he could find the listening devices and even stop caring. Instead, he was overcome with the feeling that this room, which for years had been his sanctuary, had ceased to be his own. It was as if something other had intruded and laid claim to his personal space. This is probably a bad ending. It fevered his mind. He began to hear the tracker sound as a high-pitched laugh, and a cursed, relentless noise, cruel and taunting, the mockery of the devil himself. Osawa hurled the bug tracker against the wall. Then he picked it up, only to smash it back onto the floor. Then he stomped it ferociously. There was a satisfying snap, accompanied by the sensation of the thing being crushed under his foot. The noise stopped. Or, well, it ought to have. And yet for some reason the horrid noise kept sounding in Osawa's ears. It wasn't coming from the bug tracker after all. It was inside his own head, somewhere inescapable, echoing within his skull. No, the noise didn't stop. It only grew louder. Why? This is definitely a bad ending. XD. Tell me why... Why was he being tormented like this? He couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't even think straight anymore. He felt his mind beginning to dissolve. Oh my god, we had the right... Okay. So let's... Nope, I know exactly how to fix this. We don't need the hint. So we'll go back to correct it so that he calls Susumu instead of Kuse. Or sorry, instead of Kajiwara. So we had... Oh my god, that was like the first time, notably, that I made a major decision correctly, and then I screwed myself over by making it wrong. Okay, everything is correct again. Whew! That was a little spooky. But yeah, Unwise Guy, this is where we are. Everyone else has completed their stories, except for Tama. who is now at a keep out point, right? Right after she keeps the cat suit on. Maybe it has to do with... But, okay, this person on Steam said that ran into the same block. They said the keep out sign was blocking a decision tree at 1340. Now I can jump. But it's not... I don't think this is blocking any other decision trees because I finished everyone. Unless it's blocking the Kano jump. But... it doesn't quite make sense that it was. But also, what was this jump to Minorikawa? Because when I jump to Minorikawa, it goes backwards in time. Right? It goes from 1345 Kano to 1340 Minorikawa. Some of the jumps don't seem to be useful as far as... Yeah, I did not. This chapter was really frustrating in terms of the jumps. Particularly because, like, Minorikawa and Tama had some really cylindrical choices going on there, so I was jumping back and forth between choices I had already made, which is a little frustrating. Also, Unwise Guy, just heads up, I'm... not heads up, but... Actually, never mind. This makes no sense, actually. Oops, sorry, everything went black for a second, my bad. But see... maybe I should ask him to take the survey? But I think I chose this option the first time anyways. I'm pretty sure I've chosen this option. Yeah, see, I have the text. Yeah, no. So, I had the correct decision before. Yeah, we need to let Yanagishita interfere with Kano for him to get the right ending. Yeah, I probably should have asked first, do you want any attempts to help? No worries. I thank you for acknowledging. Normally I don't ask. Normally I try not to, or I tell people please don't help unless I ask for it because I like figuring things out for myself. And usually when I do ask for help, I'm very clear about it. Like if anyone has, like, I'll be like, yo, anyone got tips? I'm all ears. But anyone got tips? I'm all ears now because I'm getting a little frustrated at the Tama story block. Especially, like, I really wish, so, you know, bad endings have hints for how to correct them. I kind of wish story blocks had slight nudges at how to correct them as well. Well, I guess keep out points... Oh no, jump points are always between the same time. But keep out aren't necessarily, I think, is what Lythira said before. But yes, I am indeed now all ears, because I don't know. I mean, this person that also ran into this block On Steam, they said the key value sign was blocking a decision tree at 1340. Now I can jump, and I don't even know what that means. Because I think I've already found all the decision trees that should be occurring, because I've already finished everyone else's stories, basically. Oh, whoa, what is that? No. Feedback hub? No, I don't want the feedback hub. I hit some kind of hotkey by accident. Ooh, okay. I mean, okay, so this is telling me apparently that Minorikawa was supposed to have a keep out, but again, Minorikawa doesn't have a keep out. Whatever keep out he had, I already cleared it because it said something from Tama would clear it. Sorry, I'm just still looking on the side for I took a look at my game. You want to know which path the jump shows up in? Yes, please. Is it... well... it's not the Achi story, right? Because Achi, right, it did have a jump to the cat, but... that was just to make the choice to keep the suit on, no? Because we've had this jump before, and what we did last time, right, is, okay, just a cat, we jump to Tama, and she chooses to keep the suit on, and then we still hit that keep out. Oh my god, wait! We never actually stayed on Tama's path after choosing to keep... oh my god. Okay. I'm understanding it now. So what we did in the past, right, is we jumped to... oh gosh. We went from Achi's story, because we had that dialogue, right? The cat. And so we jumped to Tama's story and chose to keep the suit on. And that jumped back, and then we immediately jumped back to Achi's story. And this was me kind of misunderstanding how the timeline works, I think, because I just assumed at any instance after that, if I jumped back to, like, directly into Tama's story, we would have just made that decision to keep the suit on, and then it would have progressed. I didn't realize that you had to go from the Achi jump. I didn't realize you have to make that decision from the Tama's timeline, go back to the Achi story, and jump from that point back into the Tama story to get to break the keep out. Does that make sense? Like, I thought we could just directly from the timeline go into Tama's story, but we had to go from Achi's thread. I did not understand that. Okay, well, that's really, I feel less bad because we'd actually solved it, like, early on, how to continue Tama's story, but I also feel very bad because I actually just spent about the last 30 minutes misunderstanding how the timelines work. Eggsy. But thank you, Unwise Guy. Very helpful. You're very, very wise. Get it? Okay. The sales demo is over, and against all odds, I managed to get paid. Money clutched in one paw, I head to the knick-knack shop to finally buy the necklace I can't stop thinking about. But what I am really upset about is that Tama still has the costume on because I'm like a gajillion million % sure that Tama is Maria. Like, without a doubt in my mind. And I thought that if she took the head off, we'd finally get to find out. Honestly, the writers were kind of baiting you into that choice. Because, like, we all want to know who Tama is. Like... or, like... I'm pretty sure either way Tama must, like, Tama is without a doubt, Tama is without a doubt a character related to the main story, because, like, she's the only character who's disconnected, so it would make sense for her to be Hitomi's sister. But she's definitely someone who has a relationship to another one of the major characters. Has to be. Because why else would there just be a random fucking cat? Right? Kano's involved because he's the detective. Achi's involved because he met Hitomi. Osawa's involved because he's their dad. And who's the last one? Minorikawa's involved because he's a reporter. And, like, I'm pretty sure his reporting coverage is going to start overlapping with the kidnapping case. Because right now he's reporting other stuff in the neighborhood, but it'll eventually cross over at some point. So what the fuck does the cat trying to sell Burning Hammer have to do, huh? It's gotta be related to one of the other main characters. She has to be. I didn't actually do anything. You found that first, but, you know, I was not ready to go re-look at that particular jump point because I thought that it was a dead end. You know, I would have never revisited again, so thank you. Hello? Anyone there? I call out. There's no reply. Is the shoekeeper out? Or shopkeeper out? Shoekeeper. Ah, just a moment. Panting, the sales clerk comes scurrying into the shop behind me. Sorry about that, I had to pop out for a sec. Whew, you would not believe what I just saw. He leans against the pillar, gasping audibly as he tries to catch his breath. Ah, you're here about the necklace. Do you still have it? Of course. Thank you so much. I have half the money here and the rest is in my... Oh, I suddenly remember something very important. Oh no. The sales clerk gives me a curious look. What's the matter? My wallet, it's still in here. I pat the costume around the tummy. So why don't you just take that outfit off? Well, I mean, the zipper's kind of broken. I wouldn't be having all this trouble if I could just get out of this darn costume. Kind of broken? But can't she just try and take it off now? It's way more broken than that. It's a comic relief. I mean, I guess I could believe it, but I can't. You know, in a game, also, like, in this type of game where the narrative is all very tightly wound up and wrapped up together, and, like, it all exists in a bit of a flowchart that we just can't see yet. It's not just comic relief. The sales clerk points me to a full-body mirror. He's right, the zipper in back is hanging open. Taking this thing off would be a cinch now. Well, thank you. I give him a bow. I'm not sure you need to be thanking me, he says. No, I do. If you hadn't pointed that out, I might have let myself stay stuck in here forever. So, thank you. Really, thank you so much. I bow again and again. The head falls off. It's... Okay, okay. It's fucking Maria. If it's not fucking Maria, I'm gonna eat shit. That's Maria, right? I can't entirely remember what Hitomi looks like, but that looks like her. The suit looks perfectly fine other than the kinked whiskers. Yeah, I don't like that statement. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. It is Maria! There's Hitomi! Oh my god! I fucking knew it! Texting Life Virus about this right now, because I told him this was my prediction. Aw, that's cute. She's taking the suit off. So Japanese. Maria! I fucking knew it! Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh. Oh my god, I should end the stream, but you know what? We're gonna play a little bit of Maria's story. We'll wrap up in like 20 minutes. But we're gonna play a little Maria's story because... Oh my god. The sales clerk continues to stare at me. You know, you really look familiar. You look really familiar, he says. Really? I perk up at that. Maybe I can find out something about who I am. Yeah, you totally look like some pop star singer or TV personality. I can't remember who. Oh, that's what you meant. My shoulders slump in disappointment. Look, if you're trying to flatter me, how about a discount on the necklace? Sure, okay. I mean, it's just something I picked up off the side of the... The sales clerk stammers for a moment. How about I take off 10,000? 30,000 is yours. You mean it? That perks me right back up. Maria! Maria! She's the girl from West Side Story and the girl with Carlos Santana. I wonder why Maria has just like an English name when Hitomi has, right, her name is Hitomi. It's very Japanese. I mean, wait, what's the... Did they ever... Like, did they ever show the kanji for her name? Because I suspect it's just like, meat obviously is like meat, like beautiful. And if it's ichi no kanji, it probably, like, if it's Hitomi, then it's like first beauty. But isn't Hitomi the younger sister? I forget if Hitomi is the younger or older sister. But yeah, I don't know if we ever get to see the kanji for Hitomi. But if it's Ichi, mi, then it's like number one beauty. Or, not number one beauty, it's one beauty. First beauty. Ignore me, these are song lyrics. Oh, okay. Smile and nod, smile and nod. Guess I'm easy to please. Sure, you look like you might need to buy some new clothes, too. He points at my sweater. Oh, it's ripped. There's a tiny tear in the left shoulder. So what do you want to do about the cat? The sales clerk adds. Want me to dispose of it from you? He gestures at my costume with his jaw. Right, what should I do? I feel a little guilty about asking him to go out of his way for me to more than he already has. Maybe I should deal with it myself. He obviously wants to help me. May as well have him get rid of the costume, too. I mean, he probably just wants to resell it in his fucking knick-knack shop, no? He obviously wants to help me. May as well have him get rid of the costume, too. Sure, if you don't mind, I say. I pay him the 30,000 yen, take the necklace, and leave the knick-knack shop. Burn it! What if the assassin taking the cat costume is just a reoccurring way to get a bad ending in this game? That'd be pretty funny, actually. A few minutes later near the station, I spot a sort of mall. Checking the directory on the entrance, I see that it's got several clothing shops and an arcade inside. They probably sell shirts in here. I hurry on inside. The interior of the building is like a twisting maze of corridors, all of them overflowing with people. I take the escalator to the second floor and find myself amidst a row of arcade games. I was trying to get to the fashion area, but I must have gone the wrong way. Excuse me. Oh, that's what's his face? Not Takeno. Toyama. Excuse me, you haven't seen a lost little girl, have you? I turn to see a miserable-looking middle-aged man peering at me anxiously. How is her hair still so nice after being in that costume so long? It's called female main character in a anything syndrome. Not syndrome. I don't know. Well, no, syndrome's that word, I think. Have you seen her? A little girl about 10 years old. A girl around 10. Have I seen her? What's her name? Hana. Hana Toyama. Hana. That's a pretty name. So, she's about yay tall. The man launches into a rapid-fire explanation describing the girl's features, hair, and clothes. I got separated from her around center guide. I see. Yes. Nod. She likes this place, so I thought maybe she'd come here. Center guide. That's right. Now I remember. This is the guy I bumped into earlier in the afternoon while I was racing around in the cat costume. He got separated from his daughter? Yikes, if she did come here, it's not, Going to be easy to find her in the midst of these crowds. Are you sure she didn't go back home, I ask? Well, there's this problem, he mutters. Going home isn't an option. Well, that's not really an explanation. Sorry to bother you. I'll look around a bit more. With that, Hana's father disappears into the crowd. I leave the arcade and head for the fashion area. I bump into Mr. Yanagishita in a hallway lined with photo booths. Huh? Boss? What's he doing in a place like this? Otama, you're out of the suit! I love his theme. His theme is just so rockin'. You're out of the suit. For some reason, he's got a bunch of magazines strewn across the floor. Yeah, finally managed to get it off. That's good. I wish you could have been at the sales demo without your face hidden away. What are you doing? You mentioned something about a creek earlier. Are you going on a trip? Yeah, I was, but I remembered something important. I get motion sickness. Something fierce. He sounded kind of proud of himself. Yeah, so no trips for me. Heck, I don't even want to think about that now. What about the money you owe? I ask, curious. As it happens, I think I may have found my solution. He brings a hand to his mouth and giggles. Bro. Right here, it's the scratch card. I found a great way to make a killing. He opens up the magazine holding a reveal scratch card with a potential 100,000 yen reward. He scratches off to 1,000 yen, 100,000 yen. All I need is 30 of them, and my debt's squared away. Each magazine I can nab is more money for me. Despite his enthusiasm, the story doesn't quite add up. Are those scratch cards guaranteed to win? No, of course not. It's a lottery sort of thing. Well then, having 30 copies of the magazine is hardly a foolproof solution. Quite the opposite, in fact, but I hold my tongue. Okay then, now that my goodness of fortune promise here, let me hurry and scratch these suckers off. Yanagishita begins fervently scratching away at the first card with the coin. Oh my god, I'm starting to really stutter on my words. Bro, he doesn't know the trick that he can like reveal the winning spots on the cards. Oh my god, lol. In a spectacular display, he scratches off one losing card after another. Soon he's down to just one last magazine. You're not a very lucky person, are you? Oh, please don't say that. Mr. Yanagishita looks like he's on the verge of tears. I stare at one of the losing scratch cards. You know, if you could just see the symbols of the card, you win for sure, I say jokingly. I hold the card up to the light. When I do, I really can see the symbols to the card. Boss, I think I might have just... Shh! He interrupts me before I can share my shocking discovery. I look at him in surprise. Mr. Yanagishita has gone all pale. Quiet, Tama! Those guys are here! He shoves me into a photo booth. Those guys? Debt collectors, he hisses. Pengy knows the strat. Yeah, because I know everything in the game. I am the player. Well, I don't know everything in the game. You know, I know the secret hacks that Yanagishita doesn't because he's a mere mortal in this world. He clutches the sides of his head. Oh, they just do not give up. He clutches the sides of his head. Peeking out of the booth, I spot a pair of men who look pretty rough around the edges. Is it those two? Shh, not so loud! These men are looking around and they're getting closer and closer. What do I do? What do I do? Mr. Yanagishita starts getting panicky. Tell me, what do I do? I have no idea. Oh, this is not good. This is not good, Mr. Yanagishita whimpers. Getting involved with these thugs strikes me as a bad idea. I pretend not to know Yanagishita and run off. This guy gave me a job, so I kinda owe him. I look around for better places for the two of us to hide. Let's be nice. This guy gave me a job, so I kind of owe him. I look around for a better place for the two of us to hide. Unfortunately, I don't really see anywhere where that might work. Oof, wrong button. Might work. We might be the safest staying right where we are. Just stay nice and still, we'll be fine, I whisper. Yeah, you're probably right. The curtain is drawn so people can't see inside, but just to keep up appearances, we start taking photos as if we're normal customers. Purikura. I really hope they don't look in here. Who the fuck is ringing the doorbell at this hour? Oh, is anyone up? I lost my keys today. I need to get in. My roommate is locked out. I'll be right back. Okay, one of my other flatmates said he can get it, but kind of a bra moment. This is not the first time this has happened to this roommate. This is the roommate that gave me COVID, by the way. Just rather irresponsible. But anyways, back to the game. I really hope they don't look in here, Mr. Yanagista murmurs. What'll we do if they find us? They won't, just don't worry. Despite my reassurances, it was a while before he stopped trembling. Then he said, you know, Tama, they say that when a man and a woman meet under critical circumstances, it's easy for them to fall in love, bro. Uh-huh, do they now? They do. Going through an extreme situation together makes you fall for each other. Wanna go get married? No way. Yeah, I am not having this conversation. Darn, I thought it was your neighbors bringing me food. I wish. From the cookout? Anyway, I think they're gone now. The debt collectors, I mean. Mr. Yanagista peeks out and quickly scans the surrounding area. They're gone? They're gone. Ha ha ha! So long, losers! His fear has given way to a burst of manic energy. Guess I'm in the clear now. Thanks, Tama. Come on, let's take some commemorative photos. Eh? To commemorate what exactly? Come on, it'll be fun. Uh-huh. Okay, big smile now. Cheese it. Ready? Cheese it. Oh, the boss and Tama. Cheese, butter, margarine. What the heck? After that, I part ways with Mr. Yanagista and head to a different floor. I don't tell him about being empty seats at the scratch cards. The guy really ought to develop a proper work ethic. Hey, come on, wait up! I'm on the escalator to the third floor when I hear someone shouting. I figure it's someone yelling to their kid. When I turn and look, I see a young man I don't recognize staring right at me. Where are you going? It's not safe for us to get too separated. What? Who's this weirdo? I rush up the escalator to get away from the guy. Hungry. When I get to the restaurant section of the fourth floor, I'm hit with a sudden pang of hunger. Come to think of it, I haven't eaten a thing all day. I'm so hungry, I mutter to myself as I walk around. What should I eat? Then I spot Chidi coming out of a Chinese restaurant. Huh? Hey, Chidi! She turns to look at me confused. Who are you? It's me, Tama. I thought I recognized that voice, she replies with a nod. Did you eat again? I ask. Yeah, but then they kicked me out. Isn't that just terrible? She looks pretty displeased. I came here because they said it was all you can eat, but then they closed shop because they ran out of food. Oh wow, you're right. I spot one of the restaurant staff hanging a closed sign on the front door. Man, now my early afternoon snack is ruined. An afternoon snack at an all-you-can-eat buffet? I can't help but stare at Chidi's midsection, amazed by what that stomach is capable of. Chidi is my hero. By the way, have you seen the boss? She asked. I thought he'd finally accepted that he needs to buckle down at work, but he's got some new crazy scheme. Guess the guy's just never gonna learn. I figure nothing good's gonna come from associating with him. I'd be careful if I were you two. Huh. Done with her little rant, Chitty says goodbye and heads off among the restaurants. Hisomi? Who said that? Were they talking to me? Oh, that's Tanaka? Who said that? Were they talking to me? I turned to see a businessman of some sort staring in my direction. Like everyone I've run into today, I don't recognize him. For some reason, though, I feel relaxed in his presence. Is that you, Hitomi? Hitomi. Oh, could that be my name? Or are you Maria? No, I fumble for words. The man peers at me with obvious concern. What are you doing in a place like this? We need to get you back home. Your parents are worried sick. My parents? Did someone file a missing person report while I've been wandering around with amnesia? The man leads the way and I follow. We leave the Giegel building, but head down a narrow alleyway. Then the man suddenly stops. I feel the jolt of anxiety as I notice something gleaming in his hand. It doesn't matter which of the two you are. You're both in the way. He mutters almost as if talking to himself. That's Tanaka. Oh! Right after that, everything goes dark. Alleyways, I know, right? Never trust them. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, that's Tanaka, no? I hit enter by accident. I didn't hit tab first. Oh, I didn't mean to press that. No. I mean, this is Tanaka, no? After meeting with a man who seemed to know her on the restaurant level, our heroine hoped to find out more about her past. Instead, she wound up getting attacked in an alleyway. Ultimately, all this came to pass because she was avoiding that young man who mistook her for Hitomi. If he hadn't come shouting after her, she would have gone on to buy some clothes as she originally intended. Okay, so obviously, there's something probably in Osawa's story that would fix this ending for Hitomi, but... what the heck? Chikus! That's what he looks like. Okay, yeah, anyways, I think I'm gonna end the stream because it is almost 10:30. It's Sunday, tomorrow is Monday. Yeah, that's how the week works, Pengy. But yeah, don't want to be making too much noise. Anyways, wow, my neighbors are still blasting music. This is fine. Anyways, holy, that's an even worse cliffhanger to end than we did last time. But I feel relaxed in his presence, she says. I think that's Tanaka. Like, Tanaka's high-key sus. I don't really remember what he looks like, TBH, but I'm like 99% sure that's Tanaka. Like, I think like the player should recognize him. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm done for today. So thanks guys for coming by for the next chapter should be a Scramble, and I fucking knew it! That Tama is Maria, who I fucking called it Marie! I'm so fucking smart! Okay, Pengy, shove your ego back in the garbage where it belongs. More arm days ahead for the cliffhanger crew. You're gonna get so swole. Anyways, yeah, next stream is going to be on Tuesday. We're either going to be doing Project Diva or Splatoon again. So I think my new plan for the schedule is alternating Tuesdays, right? So I'll do Splatoon, Project Diva, Splatoon, Project Diva, Splatoon, Project Diva. I don't really know which one we're doing this week. Depends on what the guns are in Splatoon, so we'll see. But anyways, yes. Thank you again for... I am the biggest brain. My brain is very large. But thank you again, everyone, for coming by. Have a good rest of your evenings, and I shall catch you all on Tuesday. Alright, bye-bye now!